Now we're starting to get it. You don't have to sell crack, man. Um, why is it so difficult for the black American man to go onto a Google machine like Google and type in how do you make bread? Why is that so hard? How do you make sugar? How do you make cotton? How do you make wine? How do you make clothing? How do you make shirts? How do you make pants? Find out the recipe. Because once you learn the recipe to these legal products, then you can make them and then you can sell them. You see what I'm saying? Legally. All right? Because here's the thing they don't tell you. When you sell crack, you're destroying your community. Destroying it. I told you what happened when I sold to the mother. That was a devastating thing. If you have a conscience, you're not going to be able to sell crack. It's just a fact. Okay, ask anybody who's sold crack before and stopped. Most likely they stopped because they saw the devastating effects of what it did to the people they were talking with or the community they were living in. Crack destroys the community. Therefore, it can't be good. It's not a good thing. The money you get, it makes you a target because most likely the average crack seller or the crack dealer is not going to be, okay, let's take this money and rinse it. Let's invest it. Let's turn it into a school. Let's turn it into this. The average crack dealer, especially where I'm from, they're not thinking, let's take this money that we're just extracting from the hood and let's put it back into the hood in a more progressive manner. Because then I wouldn't have a big issue with it. If you sold crack and you extracted the money from these, with all due respect, these crack heads, right? And then you said, okay, I took the money from that particular source, but I'm going to rinse this money and put it back into the neighborhood and build a school. And that will keep the future children from becoming what I'm dealing with today. If that was the mindset, perhaps I wouldn't be so against it. I would say, hey, it is what it is. Cool, whatever. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty to help. Whatever you want to make it. But that's not the mindset because here's what's happening. They're extracting that money from these crack heads, with all due respect, of course. All right. And they're taking that money and they're spending it outside the hood. They're buying Gucci. They're buying Louis Vuitton. These people don't, in my opinion, from my understanding, my knowledge base, I would imagine that they're not going to take the money they're getting from these drug dealers and invest it back in black neighborhoods. I don't know that that's true. I can't say that that's true. I would argue that that's false. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard about it. I haven't heard of these type of initiatives. So there lies the issue. You're extracting money from the hood and then you're actually spending it elsewhere